Hi everybody, this is Marlene with Miami Ghost Chronicles, Stories of the Supernatural, and this is going to be a quick intro to some video that I'm going to show you of where I am preparing for a paranormal tour that Miami Ghost Chronicles is going to conduct on September 9th, 2017. And this is going to be of a very historic building in downtown Miami called the Alfred I. Dupont Building. Okay, and I'm going to show this to you because, first of all, it's a very large property. Okay, it's a very iconic building that was built in the 1930s, and a lot of interesting things have gone on there. And on that site, as a matter of fact, around the turn of the century, it was a beautiful hotel called the Halycon, which was built on that site. As a matter of fact, it was very famous not only because of its beauty, but because it was also the architect that designed it was a man by the name of Stanford White, who about 3 years after the hotel was built, he was killed, part of a very lurid love triangle that was called the crime of the century. That's how well attended the when it went to court. It was it had everything: sex, violence, death. And he was the one that designed, he was the architect that designed the hotel where this building now sits on. And you're going to see me do what they call a pre-walk, preparing to first I'm going to do a paranormal investigation in about 2 days, and then I'm going to do the tour for about 20 or 30 people for the on an actual date on September the 9th. And you're going to see how important it is, because not only do I do a walkthrough, I have a chance to talk to a gentleman that you're going to see that he at one point in prior for many years was a security guard there, and now he's one of the head maintenance men of the building. And believe it or not, these are the people that have the most information as to events that are experienced by not only sometimes the tenants, because at one point this building was one of the main offices for Florida National Bank, but now all it is it just has different offices. Some of the floors are empty, others are occupied, but anyway, he even has cleaning people that worked there since the 80s. And you're going to see what that's like when you hear all these first-hand accounts from people that have worked there, maintenance people, even people that go to work on the air conditioning units. And this is all in preparation of doing an investigation. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I think it's so important, okay, when you do paranormal investigations, when you're talking a property, because this has got 17 floors, and at this point, I'm only going to concentrate on 3 floors, okay, of how much is involved in preparing and researching and to conduct a really great paranormal investigation. And this is a part, like I said, from the tour, which I'm hoping also to capture evidence on the day of the tour, even though when you have maybe 20 to 30 people becomes a little bit more difficult, but at least for them, I would love for them to be able to capture some evidence. So I want you to hear some of the stories that he was retelling that we kind of even experienced when we were walking around in a small team, what we came across. So again, this is basically a site that the building has been there since the 1930s, but as far as it actually being part of Miami, historical Miami, it's well over 100 years old. So take a look. I think you're really going to enjoy this, and I hope you catch the next 2 shows I'm going to have, which is the actual investigation I'm going to do just with my team, and then the actual tour when I have several people going along with me. Hope you like it. Will that all the way back there? Even though I do see that they made
Sherry said on the floor plan
You will get one after.
Yeah, check it out. I like that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you're into like the 1960s at that. Okay.
But you never experienced anything in this area. Like there's no stories. Is there
like in storage.
Is there
used to
been
be a
encounters
restaurant.
in there or no? I haven't heard any stories.
Let me tell you something.
This one, when it was a restaurant, when the restaurant was open, the lady that works over here came out to me like a couple of times screaming, saying that she saw somebody in there.
How long ago was it closed down?
I'm talking about probably 8 years.
And how long had it been in use since when? Since from the beginning?
Yeah.
This is a fantastic spot that you would want to see. Because if you come in here, I mean, it looks like, I don't know if they're using it for storage.
This is the back.
This
side
is
of
this is where we
Ah.
filmed here for something on Monday. It's a full sleep. But
You
yeah,
know,
I don't know
If they would allow it, oh, okay, I
No,
see
no,
what
we
you're
could
saying.
go out, but I don't know any encounters besides the one that I just heard from Michelle.
Well,
regarding
that
the
thing
woman.
that he said where, because, let me tell you something, that's a good story. Somebody that used to work here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's more.
That she's like, okay,
Not only one, like a couple of times.
she came out saying
I
she
have
had
to come
seen.
over here to open the restaurant with her.
That's when you used to work security, right?
When I started in 2008 over here.
And what happened? She
She's
would be the
screaming
one to
that,
open it up? Is that what
claiming
you're
that
saying?
she saw somebody, she sees somebody inside here. There's somebody said I have to check the whole restaurant for her. I'm like, hey, there's nobody here.
Right.
I mean, it's could be somebody here, but I don't know. We're gonna
Right,
see
no,
it.
and I know what you're
Right.
saying. She was thinking that there was somebody alive in here. That's
Right.
what
The
her
first two
concern.
times, yes. The second,
Yeah.
that after a while, she was, of course,
Right,
aware that
exactly,
there's
like-
something weird over here.
Okay.
It was,
This
and it
is
wasn't
really
meant.
interesting because if this was like the original cafe
Of the building.
of the building, that's, how many coming and goings would you have?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of different energy that came.
Oh,
in.
yeah, absolutely. Let me take a look over here.
Go ahead.
Wait, look at this. Does this have an exit out? This is like the back entrance. Yeah.
Yeah, these floors lead to the lobby, so just
Yeah, I see that they've got a lot of this stuff put away. I mean, it's up to you guys. You have the tour where you want, but if you want to make a stop in here, and especially that story that he said,
Right.
okay, that makes for interesting. Because, like, again, especially these people that come every day, they could come for days and days. And when you have a person actually going to get a security guard, like I said, that even initially they're not really thinking it's a ghost. What they're thinking is it's so real that they think they got a live person.
I have to issue an incident report.
Okay, there you go. That's actually coming to your space.
Which
That
is
tells you
illegal.
this is not a person. This is a person thinking, hey, there's a live guy in there. I'm gonna go get the security guard.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe. Not that she's thinking, oh, there's a ghost. She wasn't looking for
Right. Your
like.
mind doesn't go to that.
Uh-huh, exactly. And that, to me, that speaks volumes. So it's up to you guys, but coming in here, I think would be good.
Yeah, Amanda.
Fifth floor, to my understanding, is quarterly conference.
Okay, and what are they doing?
Thank you.
Okay, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of people that work here.
Keep it confidential to Lisa.
You know what, they don't make doors like this anymore.
Yeah,
That way it's done.
Michelle, are these the original doors?
Yes.
Yeah, they look like it.
Wow, there's nobody up here.
Nobody up here. It's empty. But this floor is clean. There's nothing in here.
Yeah, this is the fifth floor.
What's the story? No, I think it's
The story, I know you were saying that we're on the wrong floor. You said that he hasn't had any experience here.
Okay, tell me
But
what you.
I talked to Maria. Maria's like the head boss, cleaning lady, right? That's
Okay.
right? That's what we're trying to do?
Maria was already mentally scared about ghosts over here. So every little noise that you hear is the ghost.
Well,
So what happened?
Maria-
she does the cleaning.
she doesn't paint. Yeah, she's in charge of all the other cleaning ladies.
Okay.
But she was here doing whatever cleaning or something, and she has said that she's seen a woman walking around here.
Okay.
But
No, it should be. I'm not saying it's not true.
Like,
she just said that, you know, just an older woman. But yeah, nothing like detailed or anything like that. And then I guess there's a lot of bad energy that people feel in that woman's bathroom, but it's locked, so we can't go in that. Okay.
but this is
Let me just double check.
Sure.
if that door swings open, it's like.
It's locked.
So what was this before? What used to be here? I mean, I know it's the building been up for a long time, but
These were just
offices.
Just offices. Like I don't think it was.
okay, there was nothing like not a company or somebody. Look at this. This is so beautiful because look at this. All these doors.
Oh
Look at this.
You're like, I'm so happy
This
it
is
was
so
locked.
I don't have no lighting here.
It's okay.
I'm like, whatever.
I know.
It's fine.
Fearless.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess everyone.
Yeah, there's a light in here.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, come on. There you go. Let's see. So those are the. Yeah, you can tell that these things have been modernized after a while. But they're so spacious.
And that's also something too, it's like, obviously this is creepy because the lights don't go on and it's vacant, so does that play with your mind? I don't know, but.
What have people said that they've come, that
They just feel like a bad vibe, that's all. We're
Okay.
having
Be
problems
careful,
with
there's like-
everywhere.
Let me ask you something, are these I think these are the original floors?
Yes.
They are, right?
Yeah. So this bathroom remains original.
And, okay, and the reason why I'm asking, because the fact that I'm into history and other stuff, is that when you give the tour, you know, as part of the paranormal, is that you're saying basically a lot of the original thing of this building is still here.
Right,
Because you have
still
some older
existing.
buildings that have been renovated outside and inside.
Right.
To where basically, yeah, the structure dates from to whatever, but what's actually there has been ripped up
Right.
and it's gone. But when you look, when you say, you've got the original floors, which are beautiful, you look at these doors, look at these, these doorknobs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it recreates the ambiance of what, what is Maria? Maria says she sees a lady walking around here, but you're saying that Maria looks like she might have been primed already. Why?
Okay, because we used to play with Maria a lot and we used to scare her. And but I'm not saying it could be real.
Oh, no, I know.
It could be real. It could be real because, she witnesses and she was really scared about it. That there was something that it was scaring her.
Right.
Well, and this is the thing. Was it only this floor that scared her, or was there every place that she went to the building? Since she did the cleaning.
She says the same thing about all the floors.
Did she see this lady everywhere else, or was it only this building that you guys know of?
Well, I think
Well, let me ask you,
it's
when was the last time that there was people in here? Like,
2014,
okay, so
like
it's
December, I think,
so almost 3 years.
almost 3 years. Yes.
Okay.
Was anybody seen in the bathroom particularly?
Not that I know of, no. But everyone just.
I should bring Maria down here.
I'm gonna tell you what this thing about is.
See,
If you
Maria-
were telling me, okay, she heard a noise, you would say, okay, she's being
No,
primed,
no.
so if she hears any noise.
Yeah.
Things make noise.
No, but she
No,
said
but
she's
if
seen
she's
a woman,
saying that
and
she's
she,
somebody-
I'm pretty sure it was her. I don't know if it's her or another cleaning lady. Had like keys on their belt, and the keys came off, and I guess like were thrown or something.
Yeah, see? This is the thing.
But
I told her because I've been doing this for a long time, since the 90s. Sometimes, like, usually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring basic stuff. I have these, I'm gonna try with the,
Dale, es aquí donde hemos visto cosas raras, ¿no?
with some equipment where you have already electrical stuff running.
Vale,
It's a waste of time because it basically just brings up on electrical things. That's really good, like if you're going someplace where there's no electricity, that then you can say, okay, something's making this spike. But I'm gonna bring in some, flashlights, the strong ones. We use that really good for communicating. Okay, I'm gonna bring a mini ovulus, which gives words.
Okay.
Okay, and these are usually the best ones that I find that work
Ah,
in
ya,
places
aquí,
where
ya.
there's just
A lo
electricity,
mejor-
there's
a lo
electrical,
mejor fue Eduardo que lo
to
estaba viendo.
rule out the stuff, but it's really compelling some of the stuff that you can find.
Dale, mami.
Busy coming back from vacation.
I'm busy, but for this, I'll come.
Can I tell them what you used to do or no? Or you used to do paranormal investigations too?
Come here,
Back in
for
2000,
who?
I used to have a group on West Flagler 18, which was an Espírita Center. We
Okay.
used to have a medium, we used to have a...
What were they,
sensitive-
Eperitita?
Eperitita.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
And when we used to go to a place, that's why it was a little bit short, we used to go with a sensitive.
Okay,
So a person who can
yes,
feel things is the best.
of course, and that's another thing, you know, besides the, when you do get, even though, you know, it's subjective because basically somebody interpreting, sometimes when you do have a sensitive, okay, that they pick up sometimes, it coincides with, or right before
Right.
you get something on an equipment, or even sometimes on the equipment, and then when you film it, the equipment's not going up, but then you see an anomaly, and you're like, but the person's like, I feel something, so it's
Right,
really,
it all connects.
it all connects.
Right.
Exactly. So it's good to have it from both ends. It's
Got
good to
it.
have it from both ends. But I can see, and you know what? And let me explain to you my experience with paranormal investigations that happen. I don't know how many of these buildings are occupied. Okay. And a lot of times when you do have any type of intelligent haunting, and by this I don't mean residual. Residual is the noise that you hear because, God, there were so many people here over the years. It's not really intelligent. It's just the sounds that imprint on the fabric of the place. There's no. But when we're talking intelligent hauntings, what they do is sometimes they will gravitate to empty floors like this, and they'll pop down maybe, let's say their office, this for instance, was on the 3rd floor. They'll come and hang out here on the 5th floor, which is really empty and nobody's here. Okay, maybe at night when it quiets down, everybody's and they go back down and they do their thing. But a lot of times, you will find empty spaces like this, is why sometimes people do feel. Especially when you, like what we did, that you just walked in out of the blue.
Right.
You know, and people will be like, especially if you're by yourself, you'll hear, feel things, or see somebody, and it's that shock that happens because they kind of like make themselves scared sometimes, and they go up to the empty place. That's why you have a lot of people that have in their houses, like up in the attic or up in down in the basement or in the cellar, because they're kind of trying to like get out of the way. You know, until they get into their, I gotta relive my whatever it was that I was doing
Right.
when I was alive. And yeah, you worked here, believe it or not, a lot of people, their work was their
Life, yeah.
their reason for being, or they really enjoyed it, or they had friends, or whatever the case might be. What you said about the bank, if you got somebody that was into the bank was the end all be all for them, because this is where they had their precious, you know. This is
Yeah.
everybody as a human being is motivated. And the reason why I say that is that everybody thinks that has to be a traumatic death or a violent death or something negative, which it does, but a lot of time that repetition of daily life
That it's like,
is
would
what
you call it,
draws.
like energy? Is
Yes,
that-
or that entity, and you would think, well, why wouldn't, if whatever, they're restless for whatever reason, I mean, I could go into a whole reason, why wouldn't it be at home? But you never know, maybe they spend more time here.
Right, they're just so used to it.
Maybe
that they
this
never-
was a workaholic, that this is where they felt good.
Just unfinished business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and this is, maybe they worked here year after year after year after year.
And they don't know they're dead. That's what I
Also, like I was telling you, originally the city of Miami, this was the center of the beginning of the city.
Right, there's a lot. of-
This was ground zero, and then it just
Right.
spread outwards.
Right, like you were saying, or like turn of the century, there was yellow fever.
There was the
That
yellow
makes sense, so a lot
fever,
of people
the
died.
soldiers that came over from Cuba from the Spanish-American War, they brought in measles and typhoid
Right,
fever.
there's a lot of that.
Like 7,500 of them came over because, of course, this was the nearest port.
Right, yeah.
Like I told you, where Jackson and the Memorial and the complex is at, that used to be a golf course,
Oh, wow.
you know. So a
Right.
lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of socialites,
Right.
they would kill themselves out in Biscayne Bay. A lot of bodies were found out in Biscayne Bay. A lot of stuff happened when this was the Halycon Hotel. You know, a lot of stuff went on in the hotel. And you do have things like that where even though the building's been demolished and they build another one, you still have stuff that carries over from prior buildings, especially a
Sure.
hotel.
Right, yes.
You have to sleep here?
Yeah, because the offense was like really late at night.
Oh, okay.
And I had to start like at 7 o'clock. I couldn't sleep. The lights on, with the lights on, somebody was jumping on me. You feel like an energy, like woof.
Jumping.
And you woke up like,
And where were you sleeping?
or, but if daddy knows that, I'm gonna be sleeping in the street. So if you could put that off the record,
And how long was, again, this is this was,
it was here.
do you know who was here before or what?
No idea. But it was really bad energy.
So it wasn't just that energy, it was bad energy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It was, I can feel it. I was almost run down there with my underwear. With the lights on, something was jumping on me.
And then you had a dream, you said.
And then I had that dream.
Which is,
People asking me where to go.
oh. But you know that also could be tied into what you were doing before, right?
But what does that mean?
Doesn't necessarily have to be tied to the spill.
Could be.
You know that,
You had a
right?
Yeah.
dream where several people were just asking, right?
It doesn't, just
Where to
because
go, and
you
kept saying,
are,
go to
or you've
Hawaii.
done what you've done,
So, I don't know if it's tied to.
they're kind of like, hey, where's?
The last one told me, I'm coming back to say hello to you. I'm like, no, go.
Okay, all right, and that's very typical. And I was telling him that that might be part of here, but that also might be what he's involved in spiritualism, where you do get people, and that's one of the things that, you know, you have this scarlet soul that might not be tied down to a certain place, but they're desperately trying to find a way out. And when they get somebody like him who works in that, who's probably sensitive at some point or more, I don't know.
So
Okay, but whatever, it's like, okay, let's like.
I just witnessed something moving by itself the day we went to investigate a haunted house.
Okay.
We investigated 18, and out of 18, only one was real.
I understand that, believe me.
We used to put powder on the floor to make sure nobody was sneaking inside. We checked that nothing was attached.
Right?
And in one of the houses, we saw something moving by itself, and I was freaked out. I was very skeptical in the beginning.
Yes.
Until
No,
I
there's
saw
nothing
it.
wrong. As a matter of fact, I tell everybody, I'm more skeptical than the more skeptics.
So am I.
Because you see somebody that like you said, the pictures like, okay, this could be anything. Like,
Right.
you see people look at the face of the windows. Like, it could be curtains. It could be.
Running at night. And there's
I heard that story on the 6th floor.
the sixth floor.
Every
floor is haunted.
I mean, we used to have an archive of incident report down there from the old time.
Oh my God.
And one of the companies that I came throw all of them away. But I read the incident reports. I read
And
all
how
of
far
them.
back did they go?
6 years.
Okay.
And this happens probably back in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
3 different tenants came down to the lobby complaining to the security guards about childs running and playing on the 6th floor. At 2
Which is
o'clock in the morning.
unusual because normally there's no
Jewelers
kids.
and lawyers, they work late. Sometimes they spend 20 hours in this building. When they have a job to do, they stay the whole night away.
Yeah.
And 3 of them from 3 different offices. And I had that on the 6th floor. There was some kids running and playing. And the guy was like, "What do you mean kids running and playing?"
See, I wonder if there was. That's what I was saying. You know, that makes me wonder. Was there any doctor's office here once upon a time ever in this building? Which is the only thing I. Because of.
Wait, because
Huh?
remember that some of the employees
Yeah.
that came over here to work at night, especially in the weekends, they report me about something. They heard that was somebody else over here. And I was like, that's impossible because this floor is blocked on Saturday and Sunday. So the only way you can come to here is through me. And I'm pretty sure that nobody was here.
Why? Because okay, it's one of those where the elevator doesn't let you go up. So
This is one of them, especially on the
Yeah.
weekends.
So this was where.
and it seems like he landed on the 5th floor. Okay, it's what side of the building is there a balcony on? The 5th floor.
You know, which has a balcony.
Because when they landed, he didn't land all the way on the bottom. He
Oh, I can
landed
show
on
you
the
what it
5th
is.
floor.
I can show you what it is.
Show me.
Especially at night, she was like, I gotta leave, there's somebody out there. There's nobody out there, I want to go check.
But what is it? She would hear somebody?
She would have the sensation that somebody was
No, you're
there.
fine.
When you have the sensation that you're not alone,
Of course, and I know that's first one. Yes, I can tell you right on the money. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I came
Right here. Right here. Oh God, yeah.
Like when I came here with one of our other project managers,
Uh-huh.
and we came like around this time, and I didn't want to walk past here.
It feels
I was
like
I'm
a
gonna
computer
go.
room.
It's maybe the electricity. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, I don't
Remember
know.
that?
Okay.
I'm like,
This is where they landed, right?
probably
Yes.
the only place that I can imagine
Yes.
is this thing.
Okay. Yes. So he jumped
Oh my God.
from there. So I'm thinking it had to have been, if it was on the 13th floor, it would have had to have been on one of those windows. If this is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, 10, which would have been over there. I thought, you know what, a lot of people were shocked when Kennedy was assassinated. And that was only a couple of days before. So it's not that he was despondent, maybe he was just shocked, like, okay, you know, they just assassinated the president of the
Or
United
someone
States.
was waiting for him in his office.
Or,
Exactly.
you know, they know that, okay, see, now we're gonna go down the conspiracy rabbit trail.
That's totally me.
Yep. Me forever. Yep.
Which is like, let's tie up all loose ends.
Yep.
Yeah, of course,
But,
that's very possible, saying that. But yes, I did feel it, what you talked about, that's not you, I did feel it, that, along that hallway of the 5th.
I don't know what it is. It's one of those things you can't explain.
Can you imagine you're here working, and all of a sudden a body
Yeah, right? I know. Hey, what's that? Oh.
that actually talk about that years this building did not have air conditioning.
And they did not mention to you the second floor?
The second floor,
I don't know anything about the second floor.
but you're gonna
Okay.
tell us now, right?
We can go and then end it there.
we used to call him Alfred. The ghost over there is a friendly one.
Okay, what does he do?
Alfred Dupont?
We call him Alfred.
Oh,
I don't think it's Alfred either.
I
There's
thought
a
you
way-
were saying like
What's up,
Dupont's, yeah, Dupont's ghost just
But
hangs
the
out.
thing is that I was not believing in the story because some of the guards
Okay,
used to tell people that work on this floor and the other one, which it was that's Memorial Hospital,
okay.
that it was a ghost on the second floor because we don't want it on the second floor, you know.
Okay,
And
right,
we
yeah.
scared them. There's a ghost up there, fence. Yeah, and the second floor, yeah, for sure.
And that's the bank, right? Where the vault is?
I mean, I swear on my
that's
on my
what
dad.
you're
The first night I worked over here, it was cardboard on the floor.
Right,
To protect the floor, it was going to be a wedding, and I heard the footsteps. And footsteps is not easy
right, exactly,
To-
on cardboard.
on cardboard. So that
Yeah,
means
for you to think, okay, something,
it's
a
not
noise
it's not a natural
around the
thing.
corner. Yes, I know, and I've heard footsteps to know the difference when it's a human, like
Yeah.
the weight of human body. The foot, it's a
I
sound
went up
that's-
to the second floor with a stick and like because my first thing is not
Again,
is a
somebody
ghost.
is there,
Somebody's
it's supposed to be there.
is inside.
Yeah, when I walked down that hallway.
hallway?
That hallway, yes.
That hallway.
I felt chills and like
Yes, that hallway, there's something going on with that hallway.
I don't know what it is.
sometimes I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to be sensitive.
What's the hospital? No.
Wow.
I know, the ceiling's amazing. I like checks on this location. We should have one.
Yes,
But do you need more information? There's a lot of
That's still works.
Yeah, exactly.
wow, imagine. Yes, it's definitely got to.
I'm sure a lot of places are crazy. We're gonna try this.
So by the time you go from one place to the other, you know, on that elevator, okay, then you find that way very good, it's like, come out of the elevator. So, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, there's gonna be a little bit of transit time between one side and the other.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, like
You have the key for this?
No, I don't want the key.
No, it's like, wow. So what was it that he saw
By the back elevator.
So this was first. So it was security. Or this was a cleaning side.
It was an AC. was like, no, one day one of my employees
Tells me this.
tells me that he saw a guy burning, and I remember that he mentioned it to me. I was like,
Okay.
And I have that testimony, but it's Spanish. And it was by the elevator number 7 in the back. That elevator was the bank elevator.
Oh.
It leads you to the 4th floor, where there's another saint.
Okay. So what, because
have
this
to
is
back
where
it
they,
up.
right, they wouldn't use these regular elevators, they would use these bank elevators, especially when they had money or stuff. Like they had to
Checkpoints around, and we have to look outside. Some of the guys always told me, no, I don't like to look away. Like, why? They cannot explain.
Yeah, these are, look at this, this is the.
They don't like looking out here.
They don't really looking
When I
outside.
grew up in my house in Hialeah, I had this type of windows. And look at this, that's why it's like, you can like, look
I
at
know. My grandmother had to leave, so it's like by the time you get it open, you're like.
I know, but then, you know, the whole window, this is before people would worry about being broken into, because basically, you know. Yeah.
Oldest parts of the building.
This is the building 1936, right?
Look at this.
Yes. Yes, look at that.
This is one of and where was this television? The review.
Right, no, I can tell that probably compares to some of the other stuff. Because basically this is, because almost instead of having, you know how some buildings have like the staircase enclosed? Look at them, they have the staircase, you know, exposed. You're gonna be walking around the building going,
I know, that's me always, ever since, because I love talking to just anyone ever, and so I became really good friends with a lot of the cleaning ladies, and then just hearing their stories, and then, yeah, now I'm gonna
See,
be.
and that's the thing, people.
No.
But it's fine, I don't mind it. I
Those
just
are
never
the
want to
people
see
that
it.
usually, because you know what, they're here when everybody's left. Those are the ones that hear the stuff like, I'm supposed to be alone, but it doesn't feel like I am. Look at this. Oh. So she keeps, the cleaning lady keeps her things here, right?
Yeah.
There's a bathroom there. And the reason why I say this is, you know, in my experience, before the leasing thing, usually because of the plumbing, you know, they usually line up your bathrooms and the floors, you know. And I'm trying to think what's right below us.
The same document I showed you.
That you showed me.
Oh, that
See?
we were in.
That's what I'm
the same
saying.
line, yeah.
So
That's
that
why I
makes
was
sense.
saying that makes sense. That's why I asked you that. I know they line up the bathrooms. to
We're in the same
floors.
spot.
In the same spot, but downstairs, which is very possible too. Which is very,
This
very
is one of the
possible.
oldest part of the building.
Yes. They even have these old doors here. that they-
I know, those are cool.
Wow, look at this. These are, you could tell, these are solid wood doors. That's incredible. Look at this. No, let me tell you, I'm really happy, believe it or not, besides the thing aesthetically, that they've kept this building the way they have.
Oh, the landlord, Gary, he's amazing. He has really, I think, out of a lot of buildings here in Miami, he's kept this place like historically correct.
Yes, yes, I mean, to me, I find that's wonderful to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like I said, a lot of these buildings, when they renovate them, they don't really do it the right way, or they get rid of all the historical significant stuff.
Yeah, that was there a lot.
Like you can't duplicate it. You can't, in any scientific reproduction, it's the original stuff. You're telling history buff stuff. But yes, I could see very definitely where this might have been a bathroom. And like you said, this lines up exactly. Matter of fact, this area right here lines up exactly with that area downstairs, because there's a thing right here. I know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, like the same below. Have you saw
No, this is downstairs. When we came out of the,
Elevator, it's the same elevator, it's the same place. We can go down there right now. You see?
yeah.
The first time I talked to you, I was like, I want to talk to this woman forever. But
Let
like,
me
I
tell
gotta
you
go back
something.
to work. I gotta go.
Some of the stories, there was this one lady, she's staying here, and this was when it was the Halycon, and they found the body of her husband out dead, and they could never account, which was, what was it, by Stanford Creek, what Stanford Creek back then was like, they could never account what was taken out there and killed, and she was staying here. I mean, there's a lot of drama, like all hotels,
Of course, yeah.
you know,
They're
of
always-
stories that,
Keep
I'll get
on
into
it
that,
going.
I'll get into that. And Biscayne, right there, that was like, and Brickell, it was known for, that's why I got the name of Brickell, because of the bricks. You know, where people would drive, that people would use it like a place they could drive, you know, on their horses. That's what everybody would do.
Yeah, it's very well to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff that
Yeah.
now you don't see it because,
Right.
and there's more to than just the quest in that hallway and the fit in that back building, you know. Believe it or not, banks have a lot of drama going on,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff goes on, especially for as long as it was there, so.
That's fine. So we'll do that. Yeah, I'll follow up with you. We figure out.
And we gotta talk another time, Michelle, because you sound like you got a lot of stories to tell.
I know.
A lot of stories to tell.
We gotta like go out.
You and me gotta talk.
I'm in this since the 1997.
Okay, that's about well, I've been into it all my life, but officially, yeah, I got into it in the 90s, but yes,
I mean, going to group, going to haunted places, going.
right.
What is that? Rain. It's rain? Oh.
So he was like, okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it was like,
So before, this was on Friday when Amanda's great, you're gonna be here for my summer books, but on Friday she came after hours and we went to the 5th floor and it was like, it was gloomy out, it was like 6 or 7 and we started hearing something and we're in that hallway where something, whatever, it's just a weird hallway. And we started doing that. I'm like, I need to get out of here. Let's go.
just in case. I'm not ready for my up close personal experience.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I don't think I'll ever be ready.
And it was the good one because of the way this is set up.
Yeah.
It's so funny because she picked up where you're talking and she's like, what is that?
Always. But all right.
Look at him. He's like,
Michelle, is this how we go back to the lobby?
Yeah. Keep going down.
See, even you're questioning.
yeah, no, now
I heard
he's.
that noise before. But I was never here when it was raining.
Let me ask you something. That cleaning lady, Maria, how long has she worked here?
We go to one?
Since I was in elementary school. I was back in 1987.
So she's been
Oh,
97.
yeah.
Holy crap.
But the thing with Maria is that
30 years?
she's been to suggest, you know, like Maria, there's a ghost on the 5th floor. And then she's like, okay, there's a ghost out
But
there.
she's here, what, after hours is when she comes into work?
Yes. She's been here late at night.
Late in the book and during the day too. Yeah, her schedule is different. She works a lot.
Let me ask you something. I know that she might not want to, but I said over there was when we came here. Okay, right. Yeah. Interesting.
We'll meet on September.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Don't worry.
Are they going to bring the
I
sunset?
trust it'll be amazing. I don't know how to bring you guys.
Oh, I see.
Do you know?
Oh,
Do you know who did that? Did Gary do it?
She had a group, a spiritual group. And they went to see one of the lady's husband that they didn't see her for a long time. And when they finally saw her, she said, look, there's something going on with my husband. And she goes, you know, it's like SH, we gotta go see him. And when we went to see him, he was sitting in the middle of the room, like acting like really kind of retarded, like just sitting there like this. And all of a sudden, they went up to him because my mom, the lady from the leader from the group, went up to talk to him and what's going on, Miguel? And he started like getting like really weird. And then all of a sudden, you know, she felt it, and she said, "You need to leave him." And he go, and did I say the actual word?
It's about
Yeah. And he goes, "He's fucking mine."
but in Spanish.
In Spanish. And when they went to grab him, he threw the other man across from here to that wall and got embedded into a closet.
But then you saw something because he was a kid. What was it that you saw something fly across the room?
Oh yeah, and when I first, my mom started going to a group after my dad died. And they used to keep me in the kitchen, and I used to peek through the door. And when they had the group in the circle, then I saw like a vase. It was on top of a stand, the whole stand and the vase get thrown across the room and get smacked. I don't know if she actually really did or not, but it got really, really bad all of a sudden. And this lady started shaking on the floor and she started vomiting and she got rolled across the floor and got pinned into a wall.
Crap.
And that's after that his mom said, "You're not coming to our one of these meetings.
Yeah, right?
No, man, no. She started getting worried. She started saying, you know what? I don't want nothing to get into you.